All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be a part of this year's 2021 Pollution Prevention Summer Webinar Series. So if you've been along the past couple weeks with us, you have been getting to know a little bit more information about legislative updates that could affect the manufacturing sector and TDEC. You got an update and a highlight on TDEC's permitting programs and updates on that. And then today, this is the final webinar of our 2021 Pollution Prevention Summer Webinar Series, and it is entitled the U.S. Department of Energy's Low Carbon Pilot Project. So very excited to hear from our speakers today, and sad that this webinar series is over, but we hopefully will be able to get back to normal and have our in-person summer workshops next year. Hopefully all this COVID nonsense will die down, and everybody will. It won't be something that's so scary and stuff. This webinar is being put on by the Tennessee Green Star Program in collaboration with the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, the United States Department of Energy Better Plants Program, and Bridgestone. My name is Caleb Powell, and I'm an environmental scientist for the Office of Policy and Sustainable Practices at TDEC, and I'll be hosting the webinar today for our very knowledgeable speakers. And Eli, I think there we go. Everyone is muted upon entry to reduce the amount of background noise, but if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to ask those in the chat, and I'll work on getting those answered. I'll go ahead and send a chat right now to everyone so you can see where that chat box is. Now you'll notice that it says send to and it's got a drop-down box. Now just make sure that whenever you're asking your questions or you have comments, or if you have any issues with your audio or anything like that and you just need a little bit of assistance, make sure that that's at least coming to the host, which is myself. It can either be all panelists, all participants, but just make sure the host is one of those people that is picked or chosen on that drop down so that I can make sure that I get those questions and I can ask those to our wonderful speakers. To give an overview of what is going to be covered today, buildings and manufacturing plants account for roughly 2/3 of the U.S. CO2 emissions, and therefore that presents a significant opportunity to meet carbon reduction goals. Through the Better Buildings, Better Plants, the U.S. Department of Energy is working with industry leaders to explore low carbon pathways. This webinar will be highlighting this pilot program to understand and demonstrate how to achieve real carbon dioxide emission reductions. Our presenters have a wealth of knowledge and experience that will help us better understand this pilot project, the program in general, and then how industry can use it. So what I wanted to do now is I wanted to ask 5 little questions through Mentimeter. If you were a part of our webinar last week, you were able to be a part of this. So grab your phones and go to www.menti.com. I'm going to share my screen right now so you can see that. Let's see, desktop. All right. So you should see up at the top right now where it says www.menti.com. Go ahead and type that into your phone or in another browser. And we're going to ask 5 questions just to sort of get us all accustomed to, and see where we all are on this topic. So the first question is, how familiar are you with pollution prevention, or P2 like we like to call it, concepts and practices? 1 being the least familiar, and 5 being very familiar with these concepts. So I'll give some time to allow, and this just sort of gives us a better understanding of, the audience's familiarity with our program. The program that mainly is that I'm in charge of, that is actually putting on this webinar series. So I'm going to let a couple more come in, and then we will move to the next. So it looks like everyone's pretty familiar with pollution prevention concepts and practices, and that's great. That means that hopefully we're doing our job here at TDEC and promoting the programs and the different pollution prevention concepts that we've worked so hard on. So let's see here. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next question. What is your level of familiarity with this topic, the topic of the DOE's better buildings and better plants? Okay, so we're seeing that there's not as our audience is not as familiar with the topic, which is always good to know because we've got just the answer to that. We've got our presenters that are going to talk a little bit about the program, go a little bit more detail about it and how industry can use the program to reduce their CO2 emissions. Give it a couple more seconds and then we'll move on to the next one. All right, do you stay informed with new developments relating to this topic? So, you know, I know that a lot of people said they're not very familiar with the program and this topic, but if you are, how up to date are you with things that are going on with the program? Okay, so it's showing that, you know, we're around 2, a little bit below 2 as our average, showing that there is some opportunity to give data about this program, and that's exciting. Like I said before, it's exciting so that hopefully you'll learn a lot of beneficial information today from the webinar. All right, we'll move on. So this is a open-end question. You can type in your answer here. It says, how do you normally receive updates relating to this topic? So I know that the last question sort of showed that we don't sort of stay up to date on this topic, but if you do find out information about this topic, how do you normally get that information? So we're seeing a wide range of, some people are saying websites, some people are saying emails, the chamber. So I think, you know, email updates and the chamber are going to be 2 of our main ways of sending out these updates. Good to know. All right. We've got one more question for you guys, and then we'll start with our webinar. What is one thing that you would like to learn from today's webinar? So what was the reason that you registered for this webinar, and what are you hoping to get out of it? All right. Well, thank everyone so much for taking time to put in these excuse me, answers. These just are going to help us out with help our presenters out with their presentations, and then also hopefully helping us out getting more information out to you guys about these great programs and projects that are going on. So with that being said, we will head on over back to our presentation. Let's see here. All right. So first, I would like to introduce our first speaker. Eli Levine. He is the program manager for the Better Plants and CRI programs at the U.S. Department of Energy's Advanced Manufacturing Office. So I'm going to pass it over to Eli, and he is going to talk about the Low Carbon Pilot Project. Passing it over to you, Eli. The floor is yours.
Thanks so much, Caleb. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So, yeah, thank you so much for being with us today. It's a really great crowd. It's nice we're so thankful to have the opportunity to talk to so many companies here from the volunteer state and to be working with the TDEC, Tennessee TDEC. We think you guys are really doing great work, promoting the importance of a lot of these resources out there and getting companies to think about how they can, improve their competitiveness through saving energy, reducing their pollution and all of that good stuff. So, as Caleb said, my name is Eli Levine. I work at the U.S. Department of Energy up here in Washington, D.C. And I want to take a couple minutes to talk to you about the Better Plants program, and then we're really excited that TDEC also invited one of our standout partners, Bridgestone, and Munir is here to offer the industry perspective. It's one thing to get I can go on and on as a government bureaucrat about what we're offering, but hopefully hearing from an industry peer about how they're taking advantage of the program and what they're doing with their sustainability program will be valuable for all of you as well. So with that, the next slide. What is the Better Plants program? We want to help manufacturers and other industrial organizations like water and wastewater treatment agencies save money and improve their competitiveness. And this is focused primarily on increased energy productivity and helping you save energy. But in recent years, we've also worked with companies who were interested on water savings and waste reduction in the circular economy, and more this big topic of industrial decarbonization, helping companies get a handle on their carbon footprint and reduce their greenhouse gas footprint is coming up more and more, and we're developing our resources on our programs to work with companies on these really grand challenges. Why do this? Well, if you're here, you probably care, but as Caleb mentioned, manufacturers spend about $200 billion every single year to operate their plants. One of the nice things of being at DOE is we're surrounded by really smart people who spend a lot of time doing this type of analysis, and there's all sorts of studies that identify the really big opportunities across manufacturing plants to reduce energy with relatively short payback periods, and that's important not only for climate and resiliency, but also for your manufacturing competitiveness in this business environment, as well as your workforce benefits. And more companies are structuring their sustainability goals around wanting to attract a new type of worker that is looking for companies that have values that they believe in and care about the world that they're leaving behind and their footprint in this world. So how does Better Plants work? Well, first of all, we are voluntary and free to participate. Pay your taxes, but other than that, there's no cost to participating in the Better Plants program. It's a completely voluntary program. We're not in the business of shaming anyone for not reaching their goals. We just want to work with you and lend our expertise towards a lot of your challenges that you're seeing at your plant. So what we do ask is we ask partners to set long-term strategic goals. There's all sorts of science out there that points to the value in setting the goal as being vital to towards really motivating the company towards driving their goals. And then we work with you, and I'll detail a lot of the steps for how we work with you. I forgot to turn my monitor on in case anyone wants to look at me while I'm talking here. I will now have the monitor on. This is a little rough sketch. It's a little out of date from last year as to the program impact. We're now actually up to 260 partners and 3,500 plants, and we're set to release our new savings numbers, our cumulative savings numbers in the next week or two with our annual report. But as of last year, we had our partners have saved over $8 billion cumulatively since the start of the program, as well as 1 quadrillion BTU. We're in every single industrial sector, but the slides at the bottom highlight just some of the sectors that we're in. Certainly, some of these sectors have a footprint in Tennessee as well. So what does market leadership look like? Again, we could probably squeeze a few additional slides onto this chart, but we want to create that FOMO feeling of looking around and saying, well, all my competitors are taking advantage of this and it's free. Why aren't we taking advantage of it too? And if Caleb had the opportunity to share the sign-up list ahead of time, so I'm not sure if everyone's here, but I did want to take a moment and recognize certainly Bridgestone and Valmont and TE Connectivity for their leadership in this program, and Eaton has participated in this program at one point. So we are very excited to have all of you in the program, and if you're not seeing your logo up there, ask yourself why, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll be ready to, at the end of my talking, you'll be ready to sign yourselves up, or at least ask the type of questions that your senior management needs to know before we can get you on board. Better Plants is part of a broader Better Buildings initiative that looks at all different sectors of the economy, from multifamily housing to commercial real estate to schools and prisons and everything that you can think of. And so if you're sitting here saying, well, I wanted to join this, but I'm not a manufacturer, I'm not in the industrial sector, I don't really know if this is for me, know that there's a home somewhere in the Department of Energy that will work with you through these programs to save energy and reduce your environmental footprint. So why do companies join Better Plants? It really varies company to company, and the reasons can change over the 10-year commitment. But I tried to group them into different categories. First of all, as a voluntary free program, one of the things that sets us apart is the technical assistance that we offer. There's all sorts of leadership programs out there that ask you to set a goal, that recognize you for setting a goal. Better Plants wants to work with you every step of the way, and we'll be helping you towards your goal. And I'll detail in the upcoming slides how we do so. Workforce development, helping you meet the challenges of today of training your staff, as well as helping you identify new energy managers who can step in right away and contribute to your companies. Emerging technologies, if you're partnering with the Department of Energy, we want you to feel like you have access to everything the Department of Energy has to offer. Really, first amongst that is our national lab. So down in Tennessee, you guys have Oak Ridge National Lab in East Tennessee. That's really an extraordinary place with a long legacy of amazing accomplishments. And we want to help demystify the national lab system and make it easier for you to leverage their expertise, their analytical capabilities, as well as their innovation. And I'll get into some of the programs we've put together to help folks on that. And then lastly, it is the industry leadership component that we want to, by partnering with Better Plants and being part of the program, you are sending a signal to the market, to your customers, to everyone, to your suppliers, that you are a leader in the field of energy management and sustainability. And beyond that, you're entering a community of other companies that also care about this, that want to talk with you and want to learn with you. That's one of the reasons that I'm so excited to have Munir from Bridgestone on, is that we really have fostered an environment where companies can learn from each other and can ask questions and develop replicable solutions and put together case studies and learn from other companies' case studies to understand what's possible and how folks are tackling these challenges. So a little bit more information on these various topics. Every company that's joined is paired up with what we call a technical account manager. That is their Sherpa through the program. This is someone, a really smart engineer based through Oak Ridge National Lab, who's not trying to sell you anything, but it's just there to be an unbiased, smart person to ask questions. And they will help you with everything from setting your baselines and tracking data to down the road, identifying energy savings opportunities at your various plants, to helping you identify what resources DOE and externally are out there that can help you, either that you should be participating in, or that can help you with financing, or a lot of any of the other challenges that we hear every day from industry. Your TAM is your guide through the program and your resident smart person designed to help you. In addition to that, we offer a whole variety of tools. These tools can be everything from physical tools that we will loan out to you free of charge to and teach you how to use, help you measure various savings opportunities at your plant, as well as online tools. And these can be everything from measuring your compressed air and all sorts of resources. I'll get into that a little bit on the next slide as well. To some of your financing challenges, to resource guide documents that we have on everything from helping you understand how participating in better plants can help you further any science-based targets you might have set, or guides for small to medium-sized manufacturers to getting a handle on your quick start guides to getting you started on energy savings. We're regularly turning out new materials that are designed to help companies. So next slide. This is just an example of some of the tools. As I referenced, the Diagnostic Equipment Program is a library loan program of physical tools that we will offer to you. We have about 24 tools that we use regularly during our in-plant trainings to quantify energy savings that we can give to you to help you take advantage. Because oftentimes, if you're trying to make a pitch to senior management about a potential upgrade, it really helps your case to come with the data and show what the size of the opportunity is and what the payback period is. So that's something that if we can help you, you don't have to go out and buy the tool, but we can loan it to you. We're very interested in doing that. Our Measure tool suite brings together all of our important industrial legacy systems tools on compressed air, motors, pumps, fans, everything you can think of that you can plug in and help you identify, quantify, measure your energy losses, quantify your savings opportunities, and all of that. We have the plant water profiler tool for those who are interested in water savings as well as a lot of new tools we've developed around decarbonization. For folks who are thinking about whether renewables are right for them, or whether there's an opportunity to electrify some of your processes, or really just getting a handle on trying to build your own waterfall charts as to how the heck you're going to achieve the ambitious decarbonization goals that your management has set for you. So happy to spend more time going into any of these, but most important, I'm just here to try to pique your interest as to what we're trying to offer here. In addition, we have the industrial assessment centers. These have actually been around for as long as the Department of Energy has been around, some 40+ years now, and it's a remarkable program all across the country where they train undergrad and graduate students to go out and give free energy assessments to small and medium-sized manufacturers all over the country. And in doing so, it's also a great training opportunity for these students who, by the time they graduate, have just tremendous experience and skills that they can then apply to whatever their first job out of university is. In your region, I just want to flag that Tennessee Tech University and the University of Memphis have just recently been selected for the next 5-year funding period as well. So those are the universities that I will, if you're interested in any of this, that I can connect you with. So again, if you're a small to medium-sized manufacturer, these are free. There's no cost, and they have these students, assess, walk around your plant, ask them questions, take measurements, and then put together a report that quantifies all of the energy savings opportunities, as well as sorted by payback period. So what truly is low-hanging fruit and what might need to be possible over time. And the results there really speak for themselves. If you're interested in developing an energy management system, we have resources for that. If you're thinking about the ISO 50001 standard, if you've worked on 9001 or 14001 around some of your other topics that you might be working on, ISO 50001 may be used as a design program to help you develop your own energy management. It's sort of, again, free and designed to be like TurboTax for energy management. If you're considering cogeneration and combined heat and power, we have these technical assistance partnerships all over the country to help you understand what might be right for you. Again, fact-based, unbiased, smart people offering advice on what might be for you. And if you're really interested in CHP, the e-catalog of packaged CHP systems accessible to you is a great opportunity for you to take advantage of as well. So in addition to this, we offer trainings. These are implant trainings. Certainly during the pandemic, these have now pivoted to be virtual implant trainings, but they're on all sorts of different topics, all of the industrial systems, water, energy treasure hunts, motors, pumps, fans, compressed air, heating, cooling, everything you can think of. And these are competitively awarded, but even if you're not hosting one of them, there's the opportunity to sit in on them, and certainly our virtual trainings have been wildly popular as well in terms of bringing folks in. And then we regularly put on, learning series. Stay tuned. We should be announcing some shortly for Energy Awareness Month in October that can help you brush up and improve your ability to tackle these challenges on your own. In addition, we want folks to feel like you're connected to the innovation piece that the Department of Energy has to offer, and we'll have more information in the upcoming slides on that as well. And here we are. So in non-pandemic times, we host events around the country to invite our partners in to tour the labs and meet with experts and learn what capabilities there are. Certainly, we're a little hampered with in-person visits at the moment, but we're happy to make connections. We've been doing that a lot more on a one-off basis with companies to explore whether you're thinking about climate risk or certain new technology or a way of improving your manufacturing process to make it more efficient. Smart people are standing by, ready to work with you, and heck, there may be technologies you can license or take advantage of as well. Next slide is our industrial technology validation pilot. So the theory behind this is we hear all the time from companies. That's one of the great things that I really like about this program is when companies talking to 250, 260 different companies, understanding their strategy. Every company is different, has a different way of doing things, different way of setting up their sustainability team, their plant managers. And one of the things we've heard that's been a recurring theme is that many of these companies have set these really audacious sustainability goals. And they're doing everything they can to do right now, but they inevitably are seeing that there's going to have to be an innovation component. So they are leveraging new technologies or taking advantage of the breakthrough, game-changing technologies that are being developed or coming out now. But many of them will say that, look, we know we're going to have to use innovation, and it feels like we can't go to a conference or a trade show or step outside without having some vendor pitch us on, oh, do I have the technology to do this to change your life? And for a lot of you, particularly those of you who are running 24/7, 365, there's a certain hesitancy to want to install a technology unless you really know the impact that it's going to have. And so this program is one where we can bring our national lab experts in to perform the validation and verification that helps you understand whether these technologies are right for you, and then more broadly, sharing the results so that everyone can see, so that not every company has to feel like they're the guinea pig for every technology they're considering. So we're building a library of interesting technology. So this pilot is ongoing. There's a new solicitation. It's actually not coming soon. It's out now. So whether you're a Better Plans partner or not yet a Better Plans partner, but you think you would benefit from bringing in lab experts to assess how a new technology would perform in your facilities, by all means, please get in touch with us, and we'd be happy to explore how the ITD pilot may be right for you. In addition to that, as I said, we have additional resources around water savings, reduction, and the supply chain initiative. I'll just key in on the supply chain initiative that many companies see that it's really important to drive sustainability up and down their supply chain and are looking at Scope 3 emissions. What we've heard and what we have heard is that for a lot of these suppliers, just having the OEM tell them, hey, you have to do this, or this is important to us, is not enough. These folks need the resources and technical assistance and bandwidth that we can offer to help them with their challenges, so that we develop this supply chain initiative so that it would be not just stick but carrot as well, and offering rewards and resources to help companies take advantage as well. As Caleb referenced, we are moving in the direction of industrial decarbonization. We've launched this low carbon pilot. We're very excited that the Bridgestone team is a part of it as well. In this low carbon pilot, we ask companies to transparently share their experiences. We have these quarterly webinars, monthly webinars where we bring in a technical expert, and we have one of our partners speak and share their own experiences and learn from each other as well. And then through this, we hope to work with companies to develop their own wedge or bridge analysis to show how their savings are going to be achieved. And through this, we provide technical assistance and guidance and help folks move forward with their plans and their proposals. Next up is the component of this that's important to a lot of companies, is having the Department of Energy recognize you as a leader. To date, we've had our partners be recognized 74 different times for achieving their goals. What I like about that is we've seen almost, most of these companies turn around and come back to us and say, that's great. We did it. We want more. You know, we're setting a new goal. We're pushing even further. And so whether that's in the energy space or the water space, or as we move into the carbon space and allow companies to set corporate carbon goals with us, you know, recognizing and amplifying leadership is really so important. We developed what we call these Better Practice and Better Project Awards to recognize folks for the most innovative stuff that they've done on a year-to-year basis. These are the coolest projects, the most impactful projects, what we think is so interesting, and we recognize those every year and turn them into case studies for companies who are thinking about, you know, what new ideas are out there, what other companies are doing that they can replicate. In addition, it's helping companies tell their story in news releases and partner visits and all sorts of fun and creative ways. And when we talk about some of the fun and creative ways, it's, you know, using the DOE podcast to tell a story of two of our partners, Charter Steel and Harley Davidson up in Wisconsin, that you know, their energy was being managed by a husband and wife who work at the you know, at the various at their plants, and you know, helping them tell their story of you know, we call them a power couple, and working with what we call Saint-Gobain, as they have what they call a water, waste, and energy challenge at their plant that they turn into this really fun WWE style of wastewater energy with a championship belt where the plants compete against each other every year to see which plant is going to take home the championship belt and engrave their plant's name on the belt for you know, for future years to see. This is all housed on our Better Building Solutions Center, so all of our case studies are there, all of our focus areas with tip sheets and software tools and, you know, contact information for our subject matter experts. So I really encourage you to spend time on this website to learn, and whether you're a partner or not, it's not membership based. This is open for everyone, so visit the website and take advantage of all the case studies and resources that we have there. Just a little bit more information on the various case studies that we have. You know, we call them partner playbooks, and they explain, you know, how folks have overcome the challenge and what the challenges were, and, you know, what the opportunities were there. Lastly, you know, one of the most fun things we've done is what we call the Better Buildings Challenge Swap, and this is if we made HGTV, reality TV. I know HGTV is down near y'all in Chattanooga, but we made it for energy efficiency. So we filmed little 8-minute episodes we took two of our partners and swapped them over to each other. So they, you know, Hilton Hotels walked the floor of Whole Foods and identified what energy savings they could update, and we filmed them meeting with each other afterwards and walking the plant and helping them, you know, bring fresh eyes to the situation. So we did Hilton and Whole Foods and the Naval Academy and the Air Force Academy, and the year the Patriots and the Falcons faced off in the Super Bowl, we did the city of Boston and the city of Atlanta, and then, you know, for our industrial sector, we did what we called Chevy's and Shampoo, or General Motors and L'Oreal. So these have been a really big hit. They're pretty fun and entertaining. I encourage you to check them out, and maybe it can give you guys an idea for you know, bringing fun and you know, an engaging way to tell your energy efficiency story. So more information on how this brought a lot of attention to our partners and the work that they're doing. So here's our pitch before I turn this over to Munir. You know, why partner with us? Consider partnering if you care about your energy costs, if you're really getting serious about your carbon goals as well, you're looking for technical assistance, you want to network with other peers, or you're looking for a little recognition for the leadership that you're showing. Any one of these reasons is reason enough to take advantage of this no-cost program, and I do hope you'll consider it. So to sign up, we ask for it's a simple 2-page agreement. We just ask for the form being signed by your senior leadership, as well as, you know, working with us to determine what an acceptable you know, what a goal would look like for you in the energy space. So that is it. I really appreciate you all taking the time today to hear about our program. As I saw in the questions, it seems like there's, you know, not a lot of you that are necessarily familiar with this, so I hope this opened up some eyes for you or piqued your interest. By all means, you have my contact information there, or ask questions in the chat. We're happy to work with you to see if this program is right for you. So again, thank you so much. I'm going to stick around for the whole hour to ask questions, but I will turn this over to Caleb to introduce Munir.
Well, thank you so much, Eli, for that information. I'm hoping that everyone that wasn't very familiar with the program had, gained a lot of knowledge, and then also, like Eli said, don't forget to send your messages or send your questions in the chat box. We will work on getting all those answered at the end of the presentation. So next, I want to pass it on over to Munir. And Munir is the Energy and Environmental Efficiency Manager with Bridgestone America. So he's going to go into a little bit of detail on what they do at Bridgestone, like an overview of their company, and then also the DOE Better Plants and LCP program that they are involved in. So Munir, I pass it over to you.
Hey, thank you, Eli, and thank you, Caleb, for inviting me to this program. On these slides, I'll go through this slide, but at the end of the day, we will be talking each other, so share anyone have any questions. And on these slides, I divide into two parts. One is Bridgestone, who we are, what drives us to getting into these kind of programs, and the second is what's the partnership between DOE and us on better plants experience we have. So we have a history and foundation here to discuss because who we are. The Bridgestone, the founder, is born in 1989, but he inherited 1906 their family business to make a like a shoe with a rubber sole type of work things, and he converted to a different rubber shoe business from their original thing called Tabby. And 1930, he thought that let's do some tire business, and 1931 he established the Bridgestone company in Kurume in Japan. So on the bottom you can see the Shujiro Ishibashi, that founder. There is a cultural center. It is always, you can see they found the Kyushu Medical School by donating and gifting the land and the building and open all kind of social cultural centers in a different part of the Japan. That's the way they started these things. And here is another chapter that Bridgestone is now Bridgestone Firestone together, and the two pioneers, two giants in this industry get together to put together a very formidable formula for the success. Like Bridgestone motto is serving society's superior quality with the positive intention, and service is called best today is still better tomorrow. Like 1900, Harvey Firestone started the tire business, and 1931, Mr. Ishibashi started the Bridgestone business, and we marched together in 1988. And here is the history and heritage from timeline from 1900 to 2019. It's a lots of things, historical steps we took. And here is a picture you can see here, Thomas Edison, Harvey Firestone, and also Henry Ford. They are the friends. They always these pioneers of the industry, automobile industry and the mobility industry. They get together and they share lots of things, and you can see lots of history Bridgestone Firestone we have that combined, we have a story to tell. And here is a production operation type things. We make tires. It's not encompassed only just for the passenger tire, roads and bus and the truck and bus tires. We make mining tires, aircraft tires, agriculture tires, and we are not only make tires. You can see the seismic isolation bearing. All the high-rise building nowadays, where is the earthquake-prone area, is always use this kind of bearing to sustain an earthquake. So we use that. We use conveyor belt, with hose pipe. In Japan, Bridgestone known as a bicycle company. I was surprised when I was there. They know more about the bicycle there as a Bridgestone than other product. We also make, other than industrial product, sports goods also. You can, if you are an avid golfer, you always can see Bridgestone golf ball on the rack. We are not only production business, we are also in solution business. And to solve, we have different solutions we offer for different customer base. Like fluid solution, we provide with a retreading tire. Like if your casing inside is good, you can buy retreading, you don't have to buy a brand new tire. So financially, it is very helpful for lots of small to medium-sized companies. And also, we started drive that tire like a puncture solution. If it is it's called run flat technology. If you are flat on the road, you can go up to a long mile. So you don't have to change the tire. So you can have a chance to safe place go and change the tire. And also, we work on noise, vibration, hardness with our sensor installations in the vehicle. We make also car seats and other parts also. We have a smart siphon. We make all kind of industrial, agriculture, and aircraft tire solutions also. Globally, we have around 180 manufacturing plants and R&D facilities. So operating business globally to meet our customer demand everywhere in the world. So that's the way our manufacturing and we call our way to serve. This is our understanding that serving society's superior quality is our heritage and our mission. So our all teammates around the world employ innovation, technology to improve the way people move, live, work, and play. And here is the three management fundamentals we do. Today we'll be discussing on this forum is environmental side, but we have a mobility and people also. On this environmental side, we ensure a healthy environment for current and future generation. That's our role. How we do that? In harmony with nature, reduce CO2 emission. That's the program we are in today we'll be discussing, and the value natural resources. We also align with lots of community service forum, like align with values with the Olympic and Para-Olympic movements. Bridgestone will highlight its community service, social responsibility, and respect for diversity to stakeholders around the world. Now let's talk about Bridgestone Americas, where we are in for today's presentation. What do you do? We have a different product we make Bridgestone Americas. We make tires, all kinds we discuss. We make industrial products. If you see all the 18-wheelers to Tesla, all these shock absorber, all this air shock, we call it, we make that. We make synthetic rubber in a polymer factory. We have a natural rubber. We have a fiber and textile to meet our internal, external demands. And also, we have American Technology Center, where is all the R&D stuff is going on right now. And Bridgestone America's manufacturing site and R&D facility, you can see all South Central America. But even though we call Bridgestone Americas, we have a factories and responsibility in Asia and Europe also, including China and different part of the Europe. We have our footprint there for manufacturing side from United States. And here is R&D facility. You can see that in America, in all South Central America, in the bio-rubber process research center in Mesa, Arizona, we always so far was globally we collect latex rubber from the rubber plant, but now we are in research and already we produce some rubber out of a shrub we grow in Arizona desert. So in the future, we are preparing in case the raw material shortage or some other natural calamity comes, that was the alternate method we have. Also, we have a footprint in Latin America in different facilities in Brazil, in Argentina, in Mexico, and also in Chile and Colombia, Costa Rica, in different parts of South Central America. Also, we have, since 1926, Firestone Natural Rubber Company worked with people of Liberia to create thriving natural rubber industry. And this is covering 185 square miles area. Is the largest single natural rubber operation in the world. And we employ 6,500 employees. And we are there from 1926. We are a vital part of supporting total community during the Ebola outbreak and other situation, and we are one of the largest employer in Liberia. We are also partnering with all these sports activities in the United States. We are the official tire for NFL, NHL, Indy Series, the PGA Tour, and senior players too. Now let's get into Bristol America's CO2 goals, reduction goals. We publicly announced that we are planning to reduce Scope 1 and Scope 2 emission by 50% by 2030. And carbon neutrality by 2050, based on 2011 base year. And how are we going to do this? We will maximize our energy efficiency, increase use of renewable energy, and promote manufacturing and engineering innovation. This encompasses Scope 1 and 2. Then Scope 3 area, second phase, will be rest of this carbon footprint. We'll be working with our suppliers, so we'll be working with products and services so that we are planning to reduce our CO2 emission. But this is our goal, to reduce Scope 1 and 2 emission by 50% by 2030 on base year 2011, and carbon neutrality by 2050. When Joe Biden announced this 2030, 50%, we thought somehow the information was like switch. It's just like exactly pretty much the same goal to look like. How we do this one? So 2020, immediately we have some KPI, carbon KPI standardization, we call it, we set it up. To do that, we thought, let's put all the Scope 1 and Scope 2 encompasses in this. So grid cleaning is, you know that all the power producing companies, their utility companies already cleaning the grid by moving from coal to natural gas and other resources. And also we are focusing energy efficiency projects. We have an energy strategic fund, and I personally manage that one, that any energy saving project cannot meet the MOB project ROI requirement. We have more flexibility to funding that project to save energy and also water savings also. And new and existing renewable energy explore, PP and VPPA method to fill in the gap, and also RAC on the table is not our first choice, but RAC is also in our calculation. And we also be aware of that our production impact, because year-to-year production, like nobody was envisioning COVID is coming and it will be affected by this COVID by our production, but anything can happen, production increase, decrease, national calamity, everything. We see how the production impact our CO2 overall emission, and facility expansion also. You know that business is growing, the facility is expanding. So we hired an independent international company to identify our glide path, to give us a roadmap that how we can achieve 2030 and 2050 goal. 2030, 50%, absolute CO2 number, not index, but 2050 absolute CO2 emission reduction. And that's the process at this time we are working on it. Now we talk with Bristol and Better Plant partnership. And Bristol and Better Plant, we started 2009. I myself was one of the participants in Washington, D.C. to sign on behalf of Bristol. Only few companies we signed at that time. We call that time is Save Energy Now. And that time we initially 2 Bristol tire plants in Tennessee, Warren County and Laverne. participate, and later on, we added Wilson, North Carolina tire plant also with the 2 plants. At the time, the program was indexed with a production. It was MMBTU per pound, but we, as a company, Bridgestone is slowly moving away from not just the energy intensity, but also absolute CO2 reduction. And engineering group is always maintained. It is our DNA in Bridgestone that we have year after year energy intensity reduction program there. But we added an absolute CO2 reduction. That's the reason we are coming to play in that we'll be discussing with this LCP program. What we get by joining this program, we have received technical assistance on combined heat and power, an industrial assessment center program for Warren County, Laverne, and also Wilson, North Carolina, and Oxford, North Carolina facilities. We got the opportunity to have a networking with peers to understand and share the problems and experience, how we can solve the similar type of problem. And we have access to independent technical experts. I call personally Better Plan program is I call taxpayer consulting program. Basically, all kind of technical assistance and knowledge-based support system is available there. And also recognition for success and participation. And that is also another positive tool to move forward with this one. And finally, we joined 2021 Bridgestone DOE Low Carbon Pilot Program, we call LCP. Here is the LCP program. We've been working with this program on DOE. We are the first tire manufacturing company to join DOE LCP program with 2 facilities, one in Louisiana and one is in South Carolina. And DOE originally reached out to us as a Better Plan partner to talk with us and see that setting the goal and understanding the program. So, and they assist a low carbon roadmap for achieving the goal. Even though we have a company we are working and internally we are working, but checks and balance and knowledge gathering from other sources help us make it better, our program. So, and also they provide assistance and knowledge, alternative fuel, electrification, renewables, energy efficiency, and data analysis and reporting. Some of the area I found we are doing pretty good. Some of the area we can see that we can share some knowledge. Some of the area we can see we might need some help. And that's the collaboration and cooperation we maintain. The best things on this program, LCP program, I saw the action plan tool for reporting and visualizing scope 1 and scope 2 carbon emission. This is the most important tool they have that will be visualized, calculation, obstacle, how you overcome, what's your goal, what's your plan. Every detail is in there, macro and micro both ways. So that is a very helpful tool for us. And at the same time, we peer exchange here success, difficulty on our 2-year journey and how you overcome this. Finally, we as a participant will provide a showcase from our 2 facilities among our peers that, hey, at the end of the day, that is our goal, that is you receive, that was obstacle, that's we overcome, and that's the support system we had in this program. And this is the picture, and this is the 2 reward you can see. We had 2016 and 2020, also better program. The reward program is that. So we received, personally, I received in 2016, and also 2020, we received through online due to the COVID. So it's a recognition program also is very positive thing. And I want to stop there because we don't have a whole lot of time. We need to discuss any question we have, me and Eli, whoever we can answer the question. And here is my contact information. Anyone who wants to be in contact with me, that will be welcome.
Thank you so much, Munir. We had a couple questions come in, so Eli, if you want to jump in as well. So the first one I think is from Munir. It says, what's PPA and VPPA?
PPA is Power Purchase Agreement. It is the term. PPA means if you have a land and you build a solar panel or windmill and you use all this stuff, is called PPA, Power Purchase Agreement. VPPA is called Virtual Power Purchase Agreement. Suppose I have a plant in Tennessee, but I can buy the offset my carbon footprint in buying some green energy from Texas. That's the financial transaction, but I can get the credit out of this. This is a VPPA. And this encompasses scope 2, basically, because this is just the electricity.
Awesome. And then we had, let's see, how much effort has it been to participate in the carbon pilot?
It is for me or Eli?
I think whoever would like to answer that.
Munir, you go first. I'll chime in after.
Okay, as a participant, we are already in the part of DOE Better Plan program, so we are already connected. But one thing, it was very clearly we need to try to understand what data, what information a company needs to be sharing with federal government, how much is and will be protected, because lots of company doesn't want to share the internal numbers, how much electricity used, how much to do. And the DOE, and we have a like a disclosure agreement, is we have experience of from 2009, DOE never publish or share any information without our consent. And so that was, we didn't have an issue to joining them. And we are very, very excited to joining them because it is very much aligned with our planning, our internal goals.
Thanks, Munir, and I agree with everything that he said. You know, ultimately, very much we have, as Munir said, about 10 years of working with partners. So there's an understanding that we wouldn't have gotten it, we wouldn't have made it this far if we were, asking for anything that was too onerous or sharing with anything that would violate our partners' confidences. With everything with a voluntary program, it's really going to be up to you, and it's going to be the type of situation that you get out what you put in. So for the companies that really want to leverage our technical assistance and understand the tools and offerings that we have, or like talking to people who can help you identify, future pathways and replicable strategies, it can be a monthly call, and for others, or it can be a regular interaction, and for others, maybe it's a little bit less frequent. And honestly, when you join the Better Plans program, we're asking you to set roughly a 10-year goal, and there is an understanding that heck, my relationship with my wife has changed over 10 years. The amount, we're still talking every day, but like the amount that you're talking with you and the amount that how much you're engaging with us is going to change based on your workload, your bandwidth, but also when the opportunities are ripe and how much you want to take advantage of at this moment.
Awesome. Yeah, there was a couple more questions. I think some of those came in and they probably got, I think they actually got answered through the end of the presentation, but I just wanted to make sure that I ask them. So it says, which Tennessee location is participating? So I'm guessing that's for Munir. Which Bridgestone location in Tennessee is participating?
Yeah, we don't have any Tennessee location at this time. We the minimum is 2 facilities. We found in a strategic way. We have 2 facilities, one in Louisiana, because we make synthetic rubber, is a huge scope 1. So we like to see what the barrier, how it can overcome, so challenge-wise. We have one is in South Carolina, and we have, in my presentation, you saw a 3 megawatt solar field in our site. We see a green one, and both sides, we like to see how this program can be accommodate both scope 1 and scope 2. That's why the 2 facilities we included. Tennessee facility we didn't included yet.
And yeah, just echoing that, you know, for the program in general, we ask folks to set corporate goals, which Bridgestone has for all of their facilities, and then for the low carbon pilot, that's really honing in and identifying one or two showcase facilities that we can roll up our sleeves and work with you on.
Well, awesome. As of right now, I don't see any more questions. If you have any more questions that you want to be answered, please send those to my email, and you also got the contact information for Eli and Munir. So with that, I'd like to go ahead and thank both of you guys so much for taking time and presenting on this low carbon pilot project and how, you know, industry, Bridgestone being our specific example here, is able to take advantage of this program and reduce their carbon. Also, I'd like to thank everyone that registered and was a part of the webinar audience. We couldn't do this without you guys. And then, like we mentioned before, this is the third of 3 webinars taking place for this year's 2021 Pollution Prevention Summer Webinar Series. We hope that you've been able to tune in for all of our webinars, and we hope that they have provided beneficial information to you within the safety of your own your home office or your regular office. Hopefully that we'll be able to be back at our in-person summer workshops next year. So I did want to make this known. I'm going to put in the chat box right now. This is our website. You can visit our website to take advantage of our pollution prevention tools and resources that are housed there. We also have past webinar recordings, just as this one will be, this recording will be available. A follow-up email will be sent out next week with the webinar recording link, but you can also find that on our website that I put in the chat box right there. There's also future webinar registration information on the website as well. If nobody has any more questions, I want to say thank you so much again for being a part of this series. We've thoroughly enjoyed that. Eli and Munir, thank you so much for everything that you do and for taking time to highlight your programs and your businesses. So with that, I will say goodbye, and everyone have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, Caleb, and thank you, Eli, and thank you all the audience.